You're listening to 834's award-winning podcast, The Happy Hour Hustle. We offer listeners the chance to experience the musings, or ramblings depending on how many glasses of wine she's had, of the one and only Kimberly J. Bodie as she interviews notable clients, upstanding community members, and random passerby. Nominations and awards pending.
Cheers, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Happy Hour Hustle. This is a special edition because we are celebrating National Small Business Week. We had a podcast earlier this week where we talked to the folks from Recycle Box Bin. And now we are talking to Sean of SJA Solutions, and he is the sole owner of SJA Solutions. So we want to talk a little bit as we kind of get into being a small business owner, an overview of what SJA Solutions is, what your challenges are as a business owner, what are the joys of being a business owner, if there's any, and advice you have for other small business owners. So maybe just start by introducing yourself, giving you an overview of SJA Solutions.
Thanks for having me on, Kim. This is Sean Agerson. I'm with SJA Solutions. I started SJA Solutions a little over 13 years ago. It was just myself and a laptop at that time.
In a basement usually, right?
Actually,
that's where I started out, so.
Yeah, close. It was a toss-up between my parents' basement and a friend had some office space that he could give me free of charge, so I chose that one.
I did that too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that helped a lot.
Yeah, so we mooched off of our friends. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to have willing friends.
Right.
There to help. From there, it really just started with me, trying to find a job when I moved back from Denver. Didn't really find anything in the market. The economy was really down then.
Because that was what, 2000?
2003.
Yeah, 2003.
Yeah, and so there wasn't really much, as far as IT or technology positions in West Michigan. There were, and so I had an opportunity to work with a business mentor who just really encouraged me to go out on my own. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, hey, this could be something I could do. And turns out, it was a great idea, and I love doing it.
And don't you think, because I always say when I started my business that it was kind of because I had no idea what to expect, and it's about the only reason that I did it, because I think if you know now what you didn't know then, or no, wait, either way, but if you knew everything now that, when you started out, people ask me all the time, would you do it? I'm like, hell no.
Yeah, I probably would have found something else to do.
Right.
Ignorance is definitely bliss when it comes to that. Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about SJA Solutions, because 834 ourselves uses you guys for our IT support. Yeah. So talk a little bit about maybe the services that you offer, and then, what you feel really sets you apart from other providers.
Sure. So the main thing that we offer is fixed fee support for businesses within West Michigan. And what we mean by fixed fee support is basically we act like an outsourced IT department for a set fee, like a salary, like you'd pay a salaried employee. But instead of getting one person to do all your IT work, you get a team of people that handle everything from CIO level consulting through network administration to proactive support, all the way down to unlimited help desk. So the idea is, that we can take the surprise out of technology management and IT and make it just this really easy, predictable thing that most business owners and operators like. Really when it comes down to it, most business owners don't want to have any computer problems, and it makes it hard to budget for things. When they look at, well, how many computer problems did I have last year? I think, I hope I don't have any this year, but I should probably plan on having about as many as I did last year, and that's generally how a typical small business budgets for technology and technology support. And with us in our program, we're able to stay really proactive, stay ahead of problems, prevent problems from happening, and when they do, we just take care of them, and we share in that risk and how things are set up and maintained. And everything we do is really designed to just make things run really smoothly and efficiently, again, to minimize the end user problems and make sure that businesses can get the most out of their people that have to deal with technology.
Well, and when you have technology issues, it costs you money.
Yeah.
And I think so many people look at, what you guys provide, and you end up becoming reactive versus proactive about it. And you and I have had that discussion before, because there's some pretty alarming statistics out there. Like if a business were to lose its data, those businesses often, 60% or more of them never recover from that, and they go out of business. So
Right.
it's much better to, to spend the money up front. And what I like about your model is that it is fixed. And so you can budget that. It's very easy to budget that. Talk a little bit about that, because I think now we're seeing that a lot more in the news in terms of like the risk that's associated with, there's cybersecurity, there's like losing data, there's all of that. Very
Yeah.
scary stuff is happening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, keeping up with technology trends is in and of itself a full-time job, and there's just so much going on out there that small businesses have to be aware of, when it comes to backups and disaster recovery, to cybersecurity, to compliance. There's a lot of different compliance regulations out there as well that can drive certain standards that you have to maintain within your organization. But that's what our whole program is designed to do, is to take all that guesswork out of it. And when we take on a new client, we work them through an onboarding process where we go in and we discuss, okay, what are your business continuity plan, needs, and come up with that disaster recovery plan that actually protects them and us. And so that, because it's not if a disaster is going to happen, it's when is that disaster going to happen, and how bad is it going to be. And if you operate from that standpoint of when, not if, you can face that situation a lot more proactively and just take it head on. And then you come up with a plan, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can move on to something else, hopefully sleep better at night knowing that it's taken care of. And then for us, a lot of what we do is end user training as well. So at the end of the day, we're really supporting the people behind all the technology and tools that we that are in businesses. And there's so much to be said for having a trained workforce and knowing how to use that computer, how to get what's the most efficient way to use these programs and tools on the computer. And that's a large part of what our guys do for businesses is, make sure that they're staying compliant, that they're staying up to date, that the technology is actually working for them, not holding them back, and finding those efficiencies where we can.
Because when you have issues like whether it's a slow machine or you can't access files or stuff, that costs every business owner money. Just the other day you guys were here helping one of our associates because her computer was so ridiculously slow that she wasn't able to get any work done. And so, within an hour that was fixed. Whereas, like, honestly, we probably, if we didn't have you guys on, she would have to continue to deal with that.
Right. And then what do you do as an owner? Do you send her home? Do you pay her?
Right.
Like, there's
do I buy her a new computer?
Yeah.
No. Maybe, but yeah. So, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into evaluating that downtime and that inefficiency. And if you look at an average computer user company that maybe has like 30 computer users, they might be spending $120,000 a month on payroll. And if they're operating just 10% inefficient from how their computers are set up and maintained, that's 1 out of every 10 minutes. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you add that up, that's real money and real missed opportunities for the organization. And that's really what we try to, close the gap on and fix for businesses.
So 13 years.
Yeah.
You've come a long way. You guys are continuing to grow.
Yes.
You keep expanding your office space. How many employees are you at now?
At last count, we are at 25. We dipped below that, and now we're back up. We just hired another network engineer. We have, we're probably going to make 1 or 2 more hires this year. Probably finish out the year around 27 employees if things continue to go well for us. But yeah, that's quite a long ways from, when we first started, when it was just me and a laptop.
Right.
Yeah.
And now your office space is on the west side.
Yep, we're at 565th Street. We're actually in your old suite, which you know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We kicked you out so that we could have room for our pool table and all that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Any other, like a dartboard or anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We try to, provide a fun space to work. Being in the service industry, this, it can be pretty stressful sometimes, helping users all day.
Yeah, you're not usually dealing with happy people when technology goes awry.
Right, exactly. And so our guys need a place where they can unwind and, relax and take some of that stress out so that when they go back to helping the end users and our clients, they're fresh, they're ready to engage and, have it go well. So yeah, we have the pool table that got moved to our basement though. It was making too much noise. Got the dartboard, got a fridge full of beer.
Oh, nice. So you invite people to come over and partake in all of those things, right? Yeah, of course. So what's next for SJA?
Well, we're going to continue to, just make our presence known in West Michigan, and just this next year we're going to try to focus more on helping the community just through different green initiatives.
Oh, awesome.
And then is just continue to expand. So one of the areas, we kind of want to follow the 131 corridor and go north towards Traverse City, south towards Kalamazoo, plant our flags in those locations so that we can service some of the other smaller markets in those areas.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And probably a little scary.
Yeah, really
right?
nervous.
Yeah, I
mean, that's the next big thing for us is figuring out how to open a second location and not have our existing staff or clients suffer because of that.
Well, growth, I think, and I mean, at least I guess from my perspective, I think growth is probably, when you're in the startup stage, like you were saying earlier, it's just you and a laptop. So really, like, who's dependent? And then now you're at 25 employees and you're talking a second location. I mean, managing growth is a big challenge when you're a small business owner.
It is, and it's expensive, which I'm sure you know as well. every new hire, you got to buy a new desk, new computer, new technology, all kinds of licensing. It definitely, that I think has been one of the biggest and most interesting challenges is the human aspect of running the business, finding the right people to hire, building that team so that culture, everybody gels and fits really well together. And then, just having the money to do it all. Well,
and being intentional about culture too. I mean, I remember when I started out, I wasn't thinking I was going to have to manage people, and then all of a sudden you're like, crap, and then because you don't really anticipate that, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I should hire somebody, and you hire somebody, you're like, oh my God, I have to manage that person. Well, I don't want to manage anybody.
Right. Yeah.
And
what's
then
that person going to do?
Right, exactly. Do I have to tell them things? I don't know. And then you get to 3 employees or 4 employees, and suddenly you have to deal with culture, and you have to be very, very intentional about it because if you're not ensuring that these people gel together, that they work well together, that you have solid processes, then your culture suffers. And when your culture suffers, your clients suffer. And it's something that it seems like such a hard to grasp concept when you talk culture.
It is. It's one of those untangible, just kind of ideas that just kind of float around out there. And it is really hard to pinpoint and put your thumb on it. And but once you can crack that code, I think as a business owner, I think that's where you can unlock a lot of potential, and really help scale your company. Once you have that, your mission, your vision, and values laid out and have that culture right, it can help steer a lot of decisions, and have those guiding principles to fall back on for the company.
What do you think, 2 things and then we'll wrap up, but what do you think one of the most challenging things has been about running a business?
The people, again, finding the right people, keeping them around. In our industry, the unemployment rate's negative. There's more IT jobs than there are people to do it, and I get recruiters calling our team every single day at their desk trying to steal them from us, and so it's just finding the right people, keeping them around, keeping them engaged, getting that career path so they feel like they're contributing and they can see their success and have something to look forward to themselves.
Yeah. What would you say to other people that are either currently small business owners or are thinking of starting a business? What few pieces of advice would you pass along?
If you see an opportunity, take it. If it looks like, if there's a need in the market and you can identify it, good for you, and just run with it. If it's, I think a little bit of planning and a lot of faith goes a long ways, and I think just the willingness to, not give up and be okay with failure. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8.
Yep.
You just learn from your mistakes and you keep going until you figure out your recipe for success.
I would say business owners are pretty bullheaded and stubborn, and we have tough skin. I mean, we have to.
Yep.
I'd also say, too, that it's funny how, because you and I have conversations all the time about, running a business, but I think it's funny how we often find each other and we use each other as a support system, because there are times when you're just like, no one else gets us. No one else truly understands it. So I think that's really important too, is having that, that those other small business owners that you can surround yourself with, that you're like, oh my God. And I know you've experienced this, like let's get a beer and talk about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. It definitely helps to have some other small business owners as resources where you can just bounce ideas off of. And misery loves company.
Oh my God, yes, yes, and booze.
Yep.
So how can people find SJA Solutions?
We are online at sja-solutions.com. You can search us on Facebook and all the social media feeds as well, just under SJA Solutions, and all our relevant phone numbers and stuff are out there as well.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. No, thank you. Yeah, SJA Solutions. What did you ask me? What was it?
Phone number?
Oh, yeah, give the phone number. Yeah,
okay.
Give the phone number. Why not?
Yeah, so our phone number is 616-451-2045. Happy to help and educate anybody on, just anything they want to know about technology and business.
Well, and people can also find you out in the media too. You've been talking, recently about cybersecurity and, all of that kind of interesting stuff. So, and you have a profile coming up in the Business Journal, so people can look for that.
All thanks to you and your firm.
I mean, I wasn't fishing for a compliment, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
So. All right, well, you heard it here, folks. SJA Solutions, sja-solutions.com. I guess moral of this is go out and hug a business owner today. They could use it. And then and support local small businesses. We have a phenomenal network of them within our community statewide. And Michigan is very much well known for their small businesses, and we're major drivers of the economy as well. So cheers, everyone, and tune into the next Happy Hour Hustle, where we talk more very interesting things and drink various liquids as we chat.